Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning from Sicily.
Welcome, Mark. Good morning. And thank you for taking the time while you're in Sicily to sit down with me. I'm very honored, very pleased. I'm a big fan. I've been following you ever since, actually, before you designed the Metro for NOMOS Glashuette.
Oh, really?
So, really, I'm a big fan of design. People that listen to our podcasts know this. So, welcome to the show, Mark Braun of Studio Mark Braun. Although you are not working for NOMOS Glashuette, you had the honor to design a watch for them. Um, Mark, for episode 63, like we did in all previous 62 episodes, we start with a wrist check on the show. I'm very curious what you're wearing, and I'm be shocked if it's not a Metro. Yeah.
It's the
So,
update.
yes, it's the neomatik update with the date ring on the outside. Amazing. We
Yeah,
will
it's very.
um, we will discuss actually the journey how you came up to the design of the Metro, and you've been actually involved with every Metro ever designed ever since, including the two I'm wearing today that we launched on Tuesday. So thank you for working on our 50th anniversary pieces, a set of two watches. So I'm very honored and extremely happy. It's been received well, media, orders, consumers. So I'm very happy you're sitting down with me as well. I've a zillion questions for you, our viewers as well, because in real time they are looking and commenting. We have Daniel Mitchell on YouTube writing, "Good morning. Looking forward to the discussion. Congratulations on a new bold collaboration. Looks great." Thank you, Daniel, for tuning in. For all our viewers on all the socials that are watching, feel free to send in your questions. We'll try to answer them at the end of the show, but if it's very urgent or relevant, I'll pick them up on the screen. So the tradition is, Mark, that we start with 7 the Ace List questions. The first one for you. What watch or jewel is your favorite and why?
Actually, a very first touch point was Swiss watch, Zenith, a vintage watch. When I was traveling, I bought it, and it has a full silver dial, polished, and also the hands and the indices were silver, but with a very nice relief structure. And I was wearing this for a long time. And on the other hand, my dad had a Patek Philippe from his grandmother, and they were, I think, I don't know exactly, 14 kids, and they had all a Patek Philippe, and that kept them together. And I love this story. And so a watch is more than a time indicator. It brings people together, it gives identity, and that was a starting point for me.
Very interesting. So, do you have that Patek Philippe, or is your father still with us and he still wears it?
My father is still with us, and
Amazing.
he is actually not wearing it. He's so for him it's a big let's say treasure, and he's keeping it safe. But on the other hand, I would wear it if I am the owner. I think it's very good to be close to your things and to interact with them, and also to have discussions from time to time about value and identity, quality. So it's not good if watch is in the drawer.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Second question. What did you want to be when you grew up?
When I grew up, of course, I was influenced by my parents and grandparents, and my grandparents had a strong impact. They were artists and architects, so I was interested in architecture a lot. And I started with becoming a carpenter first, and then it took me to product design.
And when you say carpenter, you literally made stuff out of wood?
I made things out of wood, so furniture and also interior architecture.
Interesting. So for our dear viewers that are not maybe that aware who Mark Braun is or what he does, he runs his independent design studio. Besides making an amazing watch for Nomos, he's very known in the furniture industry, isn't it? Could I call you an industrial designer?
Yes, it's something I like to interact with the industry and to share knowledge there, and to have also the power of the industry to bring my designs in the market to the people.
Because how do you label yourself? Just designer, creator, industrial designer?
I label myself as a creative and, of course, a product designer. It's more the wording I use than industrial designer, but my discipline is really also to be the intersection in between industry and market, industry and people, industry and environment. And I love to be creative, to find a quality-driven solution for products, which brings identity to people, which serves function. Yeah, and so just to say I'm a product designer is maybe not enough. So I'm an agent for good solutions, good creative solutions.
Well said. You triggered me when you said quality stuff. What is your definition of good quality?
The definition of good quality is when a product reaches you without frustrating you. So there's a functional need, there's an aesthetic need, and there's also a trust in a brand or company that they deliver a good quality which takes care. I don't have the time to research if every product is really well made, but I trust brands, and so that is also something I think is important and stands for quality. That you can trust a brand that inside the product is quality, things you can't control.
So, would it be a rhetorical question that if a brand comes to you to work together on a new project, and you might not know the brand very well, will you first check if they're qualitative? And if not, will you reject the job?
If they have the I'm just working on a set of knives for a startup, and that's exactly this situation. They don't have a big name, but they started already. They have some references, and I met them and I asked where they come from. They worked for other companies before. I checked these companies, and they trusted me a lot from the portfolio I have, and so I also asked to have a lot of freedom, and that I can choose also maybe suppliers, or discuss at least which suppliers will be good. And then you work in phases. You have phase one where you do research and development of a concept, and this is still a chance to exit a project. So if the phase one is not really working well for both sides, it's a chance to exit. But grow together, and you maybe have some troubleshooting here and there, and then phase 2 and phase 3 is released. And mostly if phase 1 and the first troubleshooting works out well, you can trust partners.
Thank you. Interesting. Back to our questions. Third question. Who is your role model, and or who were your role models growing up?
My role model in design, you mean, or in life?
In life. Design is life.
You're right. Let's say a big role model in design is still Jasper Morrison and Konstantin Gricic, which is not so exotic, to be honest, but they had a big influence. And I am just on a new project with my students where I will visit the Braun Braun collection in Kronberg from Dieter Rams. So I'm a very German influenced designer also from Bauhaus, and so there are some heroes. So from the design side, I'm more German and Nordic than Italian. But of course, Castiglioni is a great guy, and he made wonderful pieces. And I was in the Netherlands, not to say, not to forget. And there I was at the Design Academy Eindhoven in 2004. And people like Gijs Bakker and Hella Jongerius had a big impact also from the concept side.
Interesting. So I can go two ways now. I'll pause my initial question. In your private life, when you grew up, who inspired you, and did you always wanted to be a creator, somebody who makes stuff, who designs stuff, creates stuff?
Of course, the biggest role models are the parents, to be honest. When you are very small, they lead you. And there are two very big impacts from my parents. One from my mother. She is a maker. She gave me very early tools to experiment with, and showed me the satisfaction of creating. And that was something which gave me an identity. And my dad, he is a big collector, and he is collecting things which have a story behind the function. So he's always explaining the heritage of products, and so I know how to read products from that person, and that products can also, let's say, give you safety or a home. And this is something I learned from them.
Amazing. Are you a father yourself today?
Yes, I have two kids. Hopefully they don't run into our interview.
They're more than welcome. They're more than welcome.
They are upstairs sitting in the sun, a girl and a boy.
Beautiful. We call that a koningskoppel in Dutch. So you now being in the position of being a father and blessed to be one, how do you inspire them? And especially in this day and age of technology, that I make an assumption you're maybe less linked to because you create physical stuff and qualitative stuff. What is your point of view on that? How do you educate your kids? How do you inspire them about quality and aesthetics and real things? So not virtual and digital things.
Well, it's about responsibility. So I've designed very thin glasses to drink from. And of course, they are allowed to use this thin and expensive glasses. And recently, my son broke one because he was cheering, not celebrating too much with them, but they understand, okay, it's something I have to take care of, and it's something which is working well, and I can enjoy food with it, and I have to take care that the things don't break. And this is maybe something I don't want to blame him for destroying it. So then I can say, hey, now it's broken, but you learned something. And so this is something. Don't be too afraid that kids make mistakes. It's every mistake is a chance to learn something, and this is something how I handle my father fatherhood. And of course, it's about being curious, testing things, so giving them opportunities to express themselves. My son is playing football and he's also dancing, so two very opposite things. One very masculine, typical boy thing, and he loves to dance, so why not? So let's dance and learn this. Or my daughter, she's learning languages. I'm half Swedish and she wants to learn it, and now we give the opportunity to her to learn it and
Really?
to learn together, singing songs together in Swedish. So also playing and learning is a good attitude, I must say.
And taking your biological children to, you've just said that you yourself are an academic, you studied quite some time in different countries, and you teach as well in different countries and schools. So you have students. Do you take on apprentices and proteges?
So I have a long experience in working as a designer and teaching design. I was always doing both. And I'm working also with apprenticeship people here in my studio, but it's something which is, let's say, always separated from the work at university. I don't try to mix this too much. So it's the studio, we are 4 people, and it's one person doing an internship, and 2 people on a regular team salary, and they are really working intensely with me. So it's important to have this, let's say, exclusive structure in the studio. And when I teach, I'm with much more interaction confronted, and I give my best to drop the right topics. So right now, I work on a big exhibition called Restart. There it's about design strategies for better futures. And it's a big topic where I'm working on with many students during the last years, and encouraging them to work on a better future, but also to become good designers, understanding their tools. It's very important. And I think the most you can learn if you work with me in the studio, that's the most intense collaboration I can offer. But this is just a very small group. So with me for people. And yeah, it's also nice for me to be a teacher and to learn so much from putting topics, putting tools on the table, and developing solutions with the students together. And this is a more free space, the education space, but you are responsible that they can earn money with it later on. So to make a living from design is also something I have in mind, even though I place maybe not so super down to earth industrial topics always.
So while listening to you, I pulled up your website, went to the about page. I found there that whomever wants to work in the studio, they can apply here. So I copy and pasted into a banner. So we have a lot of viewers and listeners that love design. Some are designers, some are aspiring designers. So for those that are listening to the podcast after this show has been live, you can apply by sending it an email to applications@markbrown.org. I salute you, Mark, also that you list your former team members on your website.
Yeah.
Shows elegance and gratitude. So compliments for that. Thank you. Daniel Mitchell sends in another question through YouTube, and he says or asks, would love to learn more about the process and how the collaboration between Alon, Mark, and NOMOS grew into the latest collab. What challenges did you have to overcome? So if you don't mind, Daniel and Mark, we'll park this a bit for later. Thank you, Daniel, for that question. Going to the fourth ace list question. If you could teleport tomorrow, Mark, where would you go? And you can also travel in time if you want, or space.
That's interesting. Yeah, teleport in time and space. I would love to meet. We just talked about him, Achille Castiglioni. He had a great archive, and it's still on the archive. The kids are taking care for it. And I would love to have a good discussion with him in his studio about his inspiration. And I would like to learn a little bit from him and understand his motivation. Even though I know a lot about him, it would be, I think, very inspiring, and especially to be in his archive. And because I'm also a collector of objects and things, and I think he was a person who really celebrated it.
So we see that he passed in 2002.
Yeah.
Did you, when you were a student or a beginning, did you try to contact him and or his studio?
No, I didn't. I was, of course, aware of his work, and my first visit to Milan was in 2000. So I could have had the chance to say hello, but I was, well, the empowerment to be curious and to have this braveness to say hello to interesting companies and people, that is something which was growing carefully, and I maybe had too much respect back then, not really being aware that this person might be a very open-minded person who would be interested in working with young creatives. Of course, I work with young people now, and I'm super happy if they are encouraged and apply for an internship or a job. So now I know better. Back then, I didn't.
So current Mark Braun would have told young Mark Braun, just do it. Do you see a huge generational shift that younger students or apprentices or up and coming designers are more open, more communicative versus when you were coming up as a young designer and pupil? And if so, is it due to the technology at hand that everything is more fluid and more connected and easier?
Well, I think it's not easier because communication is less reliable. So you meet people maybe on LinkedIn or Instagram or on other platforms. Maybe they even answer you or accept your request, but they will not really have the time to meet you in person. And I was exhibiting in Milan for the first time in 2005, and that was really a boost. So I met companies and I met older designers, also in the Netherlands on the Design Academy. So I think the analog platforms, when you study in a good way, you meet interesting people, maybe at the ECAL in Switzerland where I was teaching, or at other good schools like Burg Giebichenstein, or you back in the days when I was young, I had a lot of exhibitions. This is still on, and I would recommend, even though it's maybe more easy to be in touch with people on social media, it's important to be there in real and to take the right platform also. And maybe step one is more easy. You have a contact on LinkedIn, but try to find the real connection. It's maybe a bit harder.
While I listen to you thinking about time travel, and you just said Bauhaus, I love avant-gardism, Bauhaus, Deutsche Werkbund, the style, of course. I'm looking at our first NOMOS collab ever. So we made this as a tribute to 100 years, the style movement. Frog leaping from the fact that you live in Berlin, you studied in Holland, which is interesting. You educated in Switzerland, so you like, as you said already earlier, the Northern European design movements. Going quickly in time forward from the 1910s, 20s, and look at design and European design, the Dutch design movement, the droog movement. What is today cutting edge for ignorant people like me? What are the newest movements you see in the new roaring 20s? We jumped 100 years from those eras, and we're quickly going to the 30s soon. Do you think we see a lot of innovation, or did we come a bit to a grinding halt after the millennium change?
Well, there's one big thing. It's artificial intelligence and digital tools. So this is a big impact to all of us and also to design. And it's an empowerment also to have access to technology you couldn't have before, or to knowledge you don't, which was not so easy to have before. So there you can see also a new reality of objects which are inspired of that. And this is influence for the form, maybe influence for the production. This is a new thing. And on the other hand, let's say it's a bigger awareness of the ending resources. So we have to be more in a culture of quality and repairable products. So there needs to be a new strategy how we can earn money with that, or let's say we need to produce and to consume things, but the awareness of the environmental impact is bigger. And of course, design creates happiness, and you can just buy yourself happy with a new car or a new shirt. But you need to be aware that this has a big impact. And I think a lot of designers are aware of this and try to find solutions together with good companies to are responsible in a good way. And these products are maybe not so super loud as in the old days, but they are long lasting and not boring. So maybe the Metro is also a good example for that. So it's a timeless piece, but it has a strong identity, and you can play with it in a way that people rediscover it, and it's repairable. And this is something there's a good service, and it's a democratic luxury, which is maybe a big thing we have to realize, that if we treat us with these products, it makes you longer happy, and it's better for us and for the whole system.
While listening to you, this quote comes to mind.
Yes.
When people ask me about whatever, we create jewelry, we design jewelry, we try to co-create watches, and if they don't get it or do get it, I always boil it down to this: if you get this saying, this poem by John Keats, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever," if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, I sometimes don't attempt to, if I see that they are not receptive of the message. Do you agree that it all boils down to this? Because you kept on saying it's a joy design.
Yeah.
You either feel it or you don't.
A thing of beauty is a joy forever. That's right, but it should age with you together. So, or maybe it's a memory for things which are over, but maybe you give it to someone else then. It's a, of course, when I say the Patek Philippe from my dad, this is something which is, it's also a bit a timeless piece. I don't have it here, so I can't show you a picture, but it's a big joy to have things which last in their beauty, but you can mix it in new ways. So I think this mix and match, because you don't want to be super conservative. Maybe it's okay to be super conservative, but if people are not, it's good for them also to keep some things longer, but wear it in a new combination, or then they also see that it's aging well, and stands for attitude, which reflects your mindset on what I've said before. Self-treatment, good quality, good treatment for the environment. Yes.
You just opened Pandora's box when you said AI. It's a topic that I'm very, very interested in since 2016. I studied a lot and think about, and it boils down to the essence of conscience or not, an ability to create or not. And what is creation? Is it the power of association, that you see things and we remix everything? But before I jump down so philosophical, I assume you design with digital tools as well. Do you still draw stuff by hand?
Best way of communication with the client or with the team, because it's imperfect and it's very spontaneous, and maybe it's not super clear, but it's giving a direction. So when I design in my studio, drawing is important. it gives us, it's like writing a poem together, and everyone writes one word or one sentence. So this is very important. And on the other hand, to bring a presentation on the table, it's super good to have the tools, the latest tools we need to make a presentation work. So from our render programs, I'm very, it's super important to make good visuals, but not in the first step. When you come up with a good rendering in the beginning, the client feels often, let's say, this, like you can say, don't be happy too early, or maybe the client feels like, oh, that was too easy, or the client says, oh, this looks not how I like it, and it looks so ready that I think this designer doesn't understand me. So when you make a drawing, it's more like it's something you can dance with, and when you do a perfect rendering, it's maybe just something you can say, yes, it's nice, but you have a distance. So but we use ChatGPT, we use our digital tools, we have of course 3D printers in the studio, we use Midjourney to find images we can use in the research process. So AI is a good new tool, but you have to stay the boss when using it. And AI can give you easy and nice solutions, but if you are not connected to solutions, your power as a designer gets weaker.
So since ChatGPT is so hot the last year plus, and people know it as a text processor remixer, I don't like to use the word creator because it's all about LLMs, the databases they use. Talking about Midway or Midjourney, do you actually create visuals with AI tools, or what do you use ChatGPT for, if I may ask?
Well, there are different things I do. In the design process, I use maybe ChatGPT to write a good final press text or something. So, but then I look at the text and try to make it less emotional or more precise here and there. I use also AI in the latest exhibition I've done called Transit. So it's an exhibition about migration, and there I'm showing wooden boxes, fire boxes, Brandschränke in English. Anyway, so I want to combine old symbols with new technology, and out of this furniture there is AI created story you can hear, and the story tells you how AI interprets a topic of migration. And then you see that AI is only as good as the data they have, and they maybe create the same discrimination we always are confronted with. So it's good to show the limits of AI, and in the let's say very free creative artwork I do, I like to bring discussion on the table, or that's something I do at university. And if I use it in my design processes, it's just a tool. I use it to be faster. I use it to be more visible in my ideas. So Midjourney and ChatGPT is just a tool. And I need to be aware of the weakness of these tools.
I ask every creator this question. Will it take your job, or are you confident that for the coming 10, 20, 30, 50 years, you still have a job?
As I am a maker, of course, robots can maybe make craft. That is something which maybe can replace some of my talents, but every human is repetition, but we are all unique, and we can stay strong if we keep on learning and not become lazy due to artificial intelligence. So I'm optimistic that we can stay more important than artificial intelligence. But yeah, it's a big question. So I must say things are maybe very fast these days, but on the other hand, they grow slowly, and we as humans will find our way in this.
What do you tell your children and or students if they have to hone their education and skills today, coming up in the second decennium, third decennium of this millennium? What would you recommend them to focus on when they learn and when they learn things, skills?
It's a lot about empowerment, that you have knowledge and tools that I teach my children to stay independent and don't be lazy. So if you can do your homework with ChatGPT, you don't learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I discussed with my daughter recently, and that it's good to learn and understand things. And I must say, machines can be a replacement, and artificial intelligence can maybe replace a lot of jobs, but human interaction can't be replaced, and also the composition of design can be done in a very powerful way from machines when you still not. So it's if we are in danger that artificial intelligence will destroy our future, maybe we can just pull the trigger. No, I don't know what's the Stecker ziehen. We should pull the plug, and that electricity is gone. But it's nice to have it as a tool, and if you are still aware of your talents, you will find your way. And I'm an optimistic person. Sometimes I'm also a bit naive person. I would say it's too late to be against artificial intelligence and all the digital tools, but you have to be aware that you should stay in the lead position.
Looking at your website, have you ever created something digital that has electronics in it, and or literal digital art products designed? Well, products no, but a visual or art that is digital? Is everything physical you've ever created?
Well, you are on the news blog landing page, so there is maybe not we've done some medical devices, but yes, you're right. I didn't do so much electronic things, but my recent project with the students is called A plus B plus C plus D plus E, the future of electronic devices. And of course, I'm playing with sensors and Arduino, and this is something I am very curious as a teacher. But I have an identity also as a studio, and when it comes to next, the trolley we've just designed, there was a chance to make a smart furniture where you can maybe charge some devices, or this connectivity. Or when we did the medical design piece, there's also this usability approach, that you have good interface, that people understand intuitively how the medical device works. So these are topics I like, and I'm maybe not so known for that, so that I don't get jobs in that direction. But as a teacher, I feel myself responsible to bring this on the table. So I have knowledge about it, and I'm curious about it. But as I come from the craft side, and my identity is my studio identity is not so much in this electronic and digital driven design. You don't find that so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry for the big sidestep we took, going from the digital world back to physical things. Do you like books? And if so, what book are you reading now or made an impression on you recently?
Well, let's have a look at my book. Yeah. I have a very nice, I love magazines. The Great Repair. It's something I'm just reading. It was a nice exhibition in Berlin. And so it's still a printed magazine. I love it because I can open it and close it, and jump back to the line I'm reading, and bring it on the table in every project where I need some strategies how to develop a good concept for a new product, which has the impact I want. On the other hand, I read Harry Potter with my daughter right now. It's a nice thing just to fly away to another reality. So reading books for the kids is something I like. And yeah, so it comes to magazines a lot, research I do with books. And when it comes to relaxing, yeah, it's the moment with the kids, I must say. I try to read with them.
Lovely. 6th question. When you launched the NOMOS Metro, I believe 11 years ago, 2014. If I'm not mistaken, the first one was the 1101, so the gangreserve. You already played subtly with colors. How important are colors for you? Obviously, we did crazy stuff with colors, but this was easy because it was Dutch. We see here you you played here with colors together with Nomos. Nomos does a lot with colors. How important are colors to you as a designer? And what do you think are the colors for this year, 2026? What do you see? And this is the watch I'm talking about. It blew my mind. You played with very light mint and red in these color plays 11 years ago.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to color, it's really this language without words topic. So you can bring motivation or leisure to people by using a certain color. And here in Sicily, I have a lemon yellow sweater, which I don't have now, but this lemon yellow is something which I like right now a lot. But I did an exhibition about the migration topic, and I've designed curtains, fabrics, and there I was playing with different shades of blue. And blue is, let's say, an activating color when it comes to light blue. It brings you down when it comes to, or gives calmness when it's dark blue. And I love this shades of the colors, shades of blue, shades of yellow. And I'm working on a shaving set also, where I play with glass and chrome, colored glass and chrome. And for me, it's really color is so much about identity or about let's say emotional function, that you can say this is the color of the next year, when you can maybe say it in a fashionable way when it's about the new trend color. But I'm working for people and for clients, and they need always their colors for their products, as with the project we've done. So the identity of orange is obvious in the Dutch heritage, and the shades of orange we are using. This was so nice, and also to bring, let's say, an awareness of orange, that there are different layers, and the complexity of a country is maybe not only one orange. It has this intersections of different brightness in the orange. And to have this language without words, the storytelling, and also that how you play with the two sizes, and then you have the invert color play that it creates a family also. Color is a super nice topic, and the color for 25-26 would be lemon yellow. I think it's a bit aggressive, but also gives you activity. And the times are maybe we are all a bit on alert, so maybe this color gives also it's a signal color, but could also be beautiful and empowering.
Interesting and beautiful how you link that to the society right now, what plays in society. This links quickly to Daniel's question. When he sent us on YouTube, would love to learn more about the process and how the collaboration between Alon, Mark, and Nomos grew into the latest collab. And what challenge did you have to overcome? If I may, I'll go quickly. So our first ever collab that Ace did was, I believe, in 2017 with Nomos, which is behind me. So this was the first one. The ones I'm wearing right now that we launched this week are number 8 and 9, references we did with Nomos. We initially, when we started, we loved Nomos, and we created a 10-year plan. So we designed at Ace proposals 10 years ahead but we were going too fast, and Nomos loves us. We love them, but they wanted a pause, so they paused us for a few years. And our idea was always to do a chapter with every model Nomos has. We always loved the Metro. So the initial design we made back in 2016 was a 1101, the Gangreserve, with 3 colors of orange. So that design stems from 2016. So when Nomos granted us the honor for our 50th anniversary to do a collab, it was crystal clear we wanted to do a Metro. Internally at Ace, we had big debates. Should we not do automatic and neomatik? Because we love the neomatik caliber. It's slim, it's elegant, it's timeless. So, and we wanted to do something also more for ladies, although the 35 is very good for men. So we very quickly with Nomos decided to do Metro. Everything Metro has to go through Mark Braun. So my answer to this question, Daniel, no challenges had to overcome. It was seamless. It was quick. It was very fast. It was a pleasure to work with you in the triangle with Nomos. So I think it was very smooth and easy. I think we spent the most time ping-ponging about the percentages of oranges and what do we do with the dots. And we brought it to less is more. I think all 3 of us like less is more. So initially we had more colors. I'm known for using the term tutti frutti a lot. So we boiled it down. I am immensely honored and pleasured with the end result. And so that's on my end to answer Daniel's question. I don't know what you want to add to that, Mark.
Well, I was super happy to work with Alan and Ace Jewelers, because it gave me the opportunity to use orange, because you need good timing and arguments to bring a new color. And we had orange on the table from time to time, and of course in the update I'm wearing, there is an orange indicator, date indicator. But orange style in total, with these layers of orange, this was something I really love to do, but it was a perfect match with Nomos and Ace Jewelers to realize that. So no question. And from my Dutch roots, let's say, from the time when I was living in the Netherlands, I was really happy to go on the, let's say, color classic in a new interpretation. So because you can say it's obvious there's a strong link to the Netherlands when it comes to orange, but to bring it into the Metro and to combine the identity of the Netherlands with the identity and quality of Ace Jewelers and NOMOS Glashuette was a no-brainer. So we had fun, and I'm happy that I can do it. I could
Fun we had.
realize that.
Fun we had indeed. And thank you so much for that. We have a avid watch collector, Rocky, tuning in via YouTube. He writes, "Hi gents, what's the next Ace X Nomos collab?" Smiley face. First of all, shout out to him because he has all of them. So kudos to you, Rocky. And I honestly don't know. We just launched these 2, Rocky, and your set is waiting for you. So please do come pick them up before I sell your very low number to somebody else. With Nomos, you don't know. They're slowing our roll, which I appreciate. And Rocky continues by asking you, Mark, any plans for you, Mark, and Nomos, in brackets, to create a whole new model for Nomos?
Well, Nomos has the mindset of the time that it's important to to not spoil the market with new models. So they are a very interesting brand, and they are developing new pieces in a very careful way. And fingers crossed, I can be the one who's doing a new model, but I cannot say anything about that, of course. It's a good ongoing collaboration, and I feel young, and NOMOS is a big player, and hopefully we can realize something new. But of course, the Metro is it. I'm related to all the Metro versions, and I'm very happy about it.
It just dawned on me you are as young as Ace Julius, because you're also vintage 1975. So congratulations on your 50th mark, or about to turn 50. I don't know what your birthday is. So you're just 4 years older than I am. This begs two questions. One, how did NOMOS and you find each other 11 plus years ago? And how did you come up with the Metro model? And did you always want to design a watch?
Okay, we found each other through Judith Borowski. She was the head of the creative director of NOMOS back then, and she liked my work. She found a project I've done for Lobmeier. It's the glass series I've been teaching my kids with, that they have to take care for this thin glass, and there were engravings on the glass from rivers, glaciers, and lakes, and she this storytelling layer on the functional product. And that was the starting point. And I have to say thank you to all the journalists who wrote about my work, and that I was visible on the press and on the market as a designer and a creative mind. So that was the way we found. And yes, of course, it's a good question if it was interesting for me to design a watch. Yes, it was, because it's very close to you. It's on your arm. When you wear it every day, it's really like a part of your identity. It was a very big and welcome challenge to me, and I'm so happy that it's on the market for over 10 years now, and it's selling well. It's a very successful piece, and this is something I like. And so when the question before, when you design the next model, the next totally new watch for NOMOS, maybe it's not so important, because I've designed a very good classic for NOMOS, and I can keep this going. And this is the best thing you can do as a designer. When you have, let's say, a timeless piece which doesn't become old because you can make new interpretations, or the classic stays fresh because you use it on a new combination.
So I concur as a retailer and authorized NOMOS dealer for over a decade. The 1101, and we wrote it here in English, but it's the official name is the Metro Date Gangreserve. In German, the same as the Dutch, is in the top 5. It's always a waiting list model. We fight with Glashuette to get the watches in stock, so we continuously can present the 1101. So compliments to you, because that shows timeless design. I think that if you last more than a decade, you're creeping to being epic, legendary, timeless. It belongs in a design studio. You've won a lot of awards. We didn't even talk about that. Now, something I've been waiting for 11 years to ask you personally, because it took 11 years to meet you. It was very high on my list. Why did you position the power reserve meter decentralized? Is this something that you've decided, or technically it wasn't possible to put them vertically on top of each other, lined out with the date, sub-seconds dial, and the power there?
Well, good question. When I started the design process, I was not so deep into movements, so I was really going crazy with the positions. Presenting this, let's say, phase one thing to the head of the company and Judith Borowski, and they were impressed. They said, "Yeah, well, this is fresh, and it's irritating, but well, we have no movement which is able to do this asymmetric thing." And they found it's a bit respectless, because time is about precision, to have, let's say, the cross and the smiling watch. Well, but they really liked it. We have this movement here. It's not super successful with the tangente, but we have it, and it has this asymmetric window. And then we had a match. So from the design idea, playing with, let's break the cross from the dial and create a new awareness of the beauty of mechanics in the movement, and that the opportunities of also showing complications. So where can I be informed when I look on the dial? So it also keeps you more aware of, oh yeah, I have to wind it up. So when it's really on a good spot, you realize it better. It's like the Merlin Monroe Leberfleck. I don't know. When it's really on the middle of the face, maybe it's too boring or not, or too obvious. So the playfulness, the disrespect in the heritage in a careful way was something I liked.
When I saw this picture 11 years ago, it's burned in my mind, and I'm becoming older, so my mind is less functional as I wish it would be, and remembering stuff and things are blurring. But this was engraved in my mind, because I remember it was Basel World that I saw this visual, and all my sensory things went off. I saw the tube map of London, New York. The hands immediately reminded me of the Empire State Building, which I love. Art Deco-ish. I felt Bauhaus. The fonts, the asymmetric annoyed me, but I loved it. It showed quirkiness. The colors made it fresh, but it wasn't fashion. The wire lugs reminded me of 1910s, 20s military watches. The crown is beautiful. So you knew everything was designed about it. You did not lay out the NOMOS logo in line with the central axis. So a lot of things are asymmetrical. Few questions. Did you design the font yourself?
I'm working together here in this part of the design with my wife, Anna Sartorius, and we were playing around with the typeface, and we've changed some details. So because also from the aesthetics of a typeface, you have sometimes distances or angles they don't fit. So we adjusted the typeface a little bit, but of course we didn't design the whole typeface.
You say, of course. So you changed it. That's already designing. Why do you say, of course? Is it a métier? Is it an art? Is it a kunde? That typeface, because a dear friend of mine, Lirwan Rapati, is a fantastic font designer. I'm crazy about fonts. Do you think it's a profession in its own?
Yeah, it's a very complicated thing, because this how all the fonts match together in different words. It's the distances, so you have to serve so many needs in a written text, and so it's a functional approach. And on the other hand, you can create so much identity. So with the shape, is it with or without serifen? I don't know the English word, but you can have relations to older fonts, or you can, now it's also a topic, sustainable fonts, which are using less ink. So you have new topics that you can express in the font and the typeface, and this is something you can't just do without being educated. But as a generalist, I'm super happy to jump into disciplines, and maybe also with the disrespect of the profession, to make mistakes and to learn. And then I get critics from the professionals that this is wrong, but then you can, let's say, interact, and maybe they learn something from my mistakes. So I think it's good to be brave and to jump into different professions and to mix it, but be respectful to the teachers and listen to them when you do a mistake or something.
You know, Mark, that sounds super ironic to me, that when you create stuff, nothing can be a mistake. It's the truth is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is subjective, so there is no mistakes. Well, was very interesting. Did you? Did you? It's funny what you said about NOMOS, that they said it irritated them that the power reserve meter indicator was off center. I think that's very Germanic. Of course, everything is pünktlich. It has to be precise, symmetric. It's all about precision.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn that naughtiness in Holland, do you think, in Eindhoven, being a bit naughty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Dutch strength is really about asking good questions, or being a bit sharp and self-assured in the interaction. And that was something I learned as a method, as a design method. So also to ignore a bit the traditions and the rules as a tool. So it was for sure some influence for me also.
Lovely. Mark, I am so deep into this conversation and so excited. I didn't even notice we passed the 1 hour. I don't know if you're okay for time, for a bit longer.
Actually, I need to go to the beach with my kids, because we are flying
Kids are
home.
always priority. Last one, and then we're going to stop. We have a very honored guest who on Instagram sent a question. His name is Nomos Chino Moritz. He lives in Glashuette. He is a creator because he not only creates beautiful watches, does not work for Nomos, but for one of the other brands in Glashuette. I will not tell you one. He's one of the biggest Nomos collectors in the world. So that's why his handle is Nomos Chino, but he doesn't work for Nomos. He writes, "Hi Alon, hi Mark. Just a short question for the end. Does Mark keep one of each Metro he designed for himself? Great collab. Glad you made it happen. All the best from Glashuette."
Thanks so much for this feedback. I, of course, have the first Gangreserve with me. I was wearing it for 8 years in a row, I must say, not changing it. But then when the update came to the market, I changed now from time to time, update or Gangreserve. And so I'm not a. I don't have all the metros I've designed, sadly, but yeah, I have a close relationship to all the designs I do, and you can't wear 10 or 12 watches on your arm, so it's okay for me to have only 2.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Nomos Chino. Daniel writes, thank you both. Thank you, Daniel. Mark, it was a great pleasure. I was very honored. You already confirmed to come for another interview on the Real Time show. So we'll maybe pick up some things that I have been meaning to ask you. I'm sorry, I went all over the place. So thank you so much for sitting down to me. The most important thing are the kids and the wife, family. Go to the beach, enjoy. Thank you so much for carving out time in your private time and your holiday time. Our next guest is May 7th at 10 o'clock with the CEO of Royal Costa Diamonds, Case Noman. Please tune in. Mark, I'm very much looking forward to meeting you in person in the near future. Thank you. Dankeschön.
Thank you, Alan.
Tschüss.
Dankjewel. Doei.
Tot ziens.
Tot ziens.